Another big issue in my constituency, and I have started to get letters about it again, is the cost of rental housing. And this government is adamantly opposed to any kind of rent cap, even a temporary one. Well, I'm glad that you're in a position that you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. But my constituents aren't. And we have probably the largest stock of rental housing in this constituency in all of Edmonton because it's older housing stock and it's cheaper housing stock. And we, too, have had a lot of conversions to condominiums. And we can see as the economy is doing really well here, the government's not doing so well, but the economy is actually doing pretty well with the number of people employed, blah, blah, blah. So the rental rates are starting to go up again. And people are writing to me going, how am I supposed to afford this? There's no cap on how much they can increase it, but they can only do it once a year, which was the result of the last change. And I don't know what to say to them. What do you say to somebody who's their rent goes up by, I think the last guy said $700. Well, you're paying whatever, $850, and all of a sudden it goes to $1,500. I don't know how you cope with that. I think the answer is you don't. You move. You try and find an even cheaper place, which is probably a little less safe in the structure and in the age of the building and whether there's any mold there and how likely it is to have vermin and all the rest of that stuff that you deal with in lower cost rental housing. So it is an issue for my constituents, and I want to make sure that I got that on the record because I think it's going to become more of an issue, and I really do seriously think we need to look at temporary rent caps when that kind of thing happens. It needs 18 months max, but it needs to be enough to ride out that real peak in what happens. And the government's excuse is always, well, the landlords have to tough it out during the times when they've got more vacancies and they aren't able to charge as much. But you know what? They never drop the rent. They say, well, we'll throw in the an internet cost, or we'll throw in the cost of the cable TV. But they never actually drop the rental rates on any of these places. And I don't actually see them hurting very much. Not that I want them to hurt, but, I'm told that this is such a tough time for them. Well, it's a tougher time for people that are trying to find a secure place to live. And housing security and food security are two really vital issues in our urban areas today. And creating situations like that does create stress. It is paid for in another part of our society. So don't think you're getting away with this because we're going to all pay for it somewhere else. And that's part of the lesson that you actually did learn with the Housing First project, that to insist on the old way of thinking about homeless people was costing all of us a lot of money, because those people still got services. They got them through emergency rooms in the hospitals. They got it through the police services. They got intervention. They got it through courts. They got it through jails. They got a place to sleep. They got food. But they got it through places that we didn't think they were going to get it from. And it cost us money. It cost us way more money to do it that way than if we would provide the housing that they need and the housing security. So put that on the record.